Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Today's another AMA episode. That is, Ask Me Anything. I love to answer your questions, and if you have a question you think is going to be of broad interest, send it in. I'll answer it live on the air. Send your questions to Victor at victorjm.com. That's Victor at victorjm.com. Today's question comes from Chris in Florida, and he asks, I'm considering a property south of Houston for an industrial equipment storage facility. The address was located in the email. I have a good understanding of what that segment of the market needs, but I have limited knowledge of the Houston area. Is this location a good one for the type of product I'm considering? Well, Chris, this is an excellent question. When you think about industrial storage, you almost need to think more about transportation than real estate. Where are the goods and equipment coming from, and where are they going to? That's far more important than anything else. Is the location that you've listed on the path somewhere? Is it convenient to where the equipment is going to be used? Industrial equipment storage consists of a range of products including secured yards for heavy equipment. Some of the roads have load restrictions, and heavy equipment will want to travel on major streets, may even travel on the freeways, usually with a wide load escort. The specific location that you've highlighted is not a good location in my opinion. It's too far southwest of the city, and it's at the edge of the urban developed area. It's not on the way to anything. If I was to compare Houston with a solar system, that location is somewhere between Jupiter or Saturn, rather than being closer to the center orbits of Mercury, Venus, or Earth. The ideal location would be somewhere in that radius of Mars, but your property is way out there, and it's about a 15-minute drive to the nearest freeway which connects Houston and Galveston. In my opinion, owners of industrial equipment will not want to add a half-hour round trip to the daily movement of equipment to be that far away. The additional cost of fuel will erase any savings that might be possible with the lower cost of real estate at the extreme edge of the urban boundary. Now, it's true there are no zoning regulations in the Houston area. That means you can literally build anything, anywhere. But that lack of government restriction doesn't mean your product will be economically viable in any location. See, real estate's hyper-local. Before you place an offer on a piece of land, you want to understand who your local customers will be. If you think about where Amazon locates its fulfillment centers, they're strategically placed close to transportation hubs so that goods can get into the warehouse easily, and they're also placed close to the freeways so that delivery services can get the Amazon orders efficiently to the doorstep and complete that last mile of the delivery. You want to apply the same thinking to industrial equipment. Where is the city expanding? The southwest part of Houston, close to Galveston, is a swamp. The city is not going to expand in that direction, in my opinion. If you look at some of the western suburbs of the city, like Katy, much of that land used to be swampland, and it was filled in starting in the 1960s. Before that, the floodplain was part of the Buffalo Bayou. The area was used for rice farming. The area to the south, near Santa Fe, is also a low-lying area, about 19 feet above sea level. The Highland Bayou and the Halls Bayou flow into the West Bay near Galveston. The area is prone to flash flooding. For that reason, I don't see the city developing in that direction. The area has a lot of canals, drainage ditches, water diversions, and reservoirs. Most of the growth in Houston is north of the city, in areas like Spring and the Woodlands. That's where all the major corporate headquarters are moving to. So if you're going to service the needs of a growing city for the next decade or more, you want to be in the path of that development. You want to find a location that's just outside the city of Houston, but within the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city. In that zone, the utilities are administered by a number of independent municipal utilities districts. They go by the acronym MUD, MUD standing for Municipal Utilities District. And if you compare the utilities requirements for industrial storage with, say, a residential subdivision or an apartment complex, you can probably build industrial storage with a minimum of utilities. Registering a parcel of land with utilities district can be expensive and time-consuming. It's going to add a lot to the cost of the land. So any purchase decision on a parcel of land is going to be influenced by your utilities requirements and the cost and time delay of provisioning those utilities. If it was me, I would choose a location that's close to the I-10 corridor, enabling easy access to projects as far east as Beaumont, Texas, where there's a ton of industrial growth, as well as access to all the major freeways in the Houston area. There may also be some good locations in the northwest along SH 249 and in the suburb of Spring. So Chris, hopefully this helps you with your specific question. And for the listeners at home, if you're considering developing land in a particular location for any specific use, hopefully this case study is useful in taking you through the thought process of choosing a particular location for a specific purpose. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.